Tonight, Congressman Greg Pence says lawmakers need to figure out how a would-be assassin nearly killed former President Donald Trump. He sat down with our government reporter, Garrett Berquist, to talk about the attempt and to talk about Trump's new running mate.
Pence tells me it's too soon to say how J.D. Vance will affect Trump's electability, but his interactions with Vance have been positive. If Donald Trump is reelected in November, J.D. Vance will hold the job Pence's younger brother once had.
About 2 weeks ago, he and I, along with Todd Young and another congressman, had breakfast with the Commandant of the Marine Corps and the Sergeant Major at his house, and we talked about the current state of the Marine Corps, and I got sat with him for about an hour and a half. He's a very pleasant man.
Vance's selection came less than 48 hours after Trump narrowly survived a would-be assassin's bullet. Pence says multiple House committees likely will investigate. That includes the Judiciary Committee, which counts Congresswoman Victoria Spartz among its members. Do you trust the FBI to do a thorough investigation into this?
I do. I'm a person, some folks like to talk about what's wrong. Our judiciary system's bad. The FBI system's bad. There are some politics at the top that I think that we have and continue to need to be investigated and looked at. But I think the rank and file do the right thing.
The shooting has thrown a spotlight on the nation's extremely hostile political rhetoric. Do you hold members of your party at least somewhat responsible for this?
I think both sides, Garrett. And I've been saying this for 4 years now. When I go out and about, it's both Democrats and Republicans that are angry about what they perceive as an injustice to their positions, their political positions. You're talking about the witch hunt for President Trump.
What do you hope comes out of this whole situation?
I hope the better angels come out. Garrett, I'm going to tell you, I'm not real sure we're there today. I'm watching, like everybody else, both this convention as well as the Democratic convention, and I hope people talk reasonably and rationally, particularly those that are running for president and vice president.
I also asked Pence if he thinks the Secret Service's financial crimes and executive protection functions should be split into separate agencies. He told me he would not support that. I'm Garrett Berquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Secret Service is under fire against local law enforcement as both sides say the other was responsible for securing the building where the gunman was perched. Laura Aguirre reports on how the blame game escalated into an investigation by Congress.
It was the most traumatic thing I think I've ever been through.
It's a sentiment shared by many who attended the rally Saturday where former President Donald Trump was hit and another person killed. But there's another growing concern.
I had been looking behind the stands, watching Secret Service, obviously alerted by something about a minute before.
It's those minutes before the shooting now under increasing scrutiny.
You could see the crowd. They were alerted by something. They were like running. You could see them scattering across the lawn.
CNN has learned that snipers were stationed inside the building that the shooter scaled. Witness accounts and videos show the crowd aware of the shooter on the roof nearly 2 minutes before gunfire rang out.
The time that it took to get from the bystanders who were observing it to the command post out to the agents was just too long.
No one should have ever been able to get on that rooftop.
The Secret Service says that rooftop was on a building outside of their hard perimeter, and local law enforcement was responsible for securing it. The service's director was pressed on accountability Monday night.
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable.
I think that an investigation is necessary at this point within Congress, not just the FBI, not just others.
On Tuesday, the heads of Homeland Security, the FBI, and the Secret Service were asked by congressional House members to attend a hearing later this month to determine if there were holes in established procedure or a failure to follow proper protocol. But either way,
there needs to be accountability. And at that time, I would call for the head of the Secret Service to either resign or be removed.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.